Honshu, this studying Toshindo by video is so different from what you did in Japan. How's this going to work?
Actually, this system is the way I learned in Japan. I would spend a little bit of time with the grandmaster, my teacher. We would go through a lot of techniques. There's no way that I could perfect it in that short amount of time. So what all the rest of us, the students, did is on the days that we didn't see him, we'd all get together and train. Now in those days we had little notebooks and we'd write down, okay, let's see, they come in here, this technique's named this, and so forth, and we'd try to keep these notes. Then we would go back to the teacher, show him what we had done, and get some critique from that. That was the 1970s. In the 1980s, I would travel to my teacher, and by then we started to have clunky versions of video. So we could actually take video of the techniques. Now, same thing, I wouldn't perfect it then, I could learn a lot, we could get this on video. I'd take the videos back home with me, then my training partners and students, we could all study there. Sometimes I would go and I would actually videotape the grandmaster himself doing the material. Later on, that teacher actually made those videos available to people. So what we're doing here is very, very traditional. This is the way that I learned the martial art, and now through video, through DVD, through the internet, which wasn't even there before, we can take people through this in exactly the way I learned it in Japan.
But I think it's very important for students to have actual training with their teachers.
Oh yeah, that's of course a part of it. What we've done here is we've just tightened up this process. See, before this program, a person would come to me, you remember that in the old days, you would come to my dojo. We took a lot of time to just show the mechanics. Here's where the hand goes, here's how the finger goes, this is the way the foot works. We took a lot of time to get the mechanics, and then a little bit of time to really try it out and do it. Now, the idea with this study at home course is people can learn the mechanics now, and they have the opportunity to come here for our workshops, private training, whatever they choose. They'll be so far ahead, and now we can actually have the experience because they've had the opportunity to learn the mechanics. They know the techniques. Now we're going to show them how to really make them work. So in that way, I think we're going to speed the process up for a lot of people. They'll be able to go so much further in the martial arts in that given amount of time.
So in addition to the students coming over to Honbu, the headquarters, or also attending the workshops, we can send our shihans from the headquarters to the students.
Oh yeah, and that's another way for people to make that connection. Our highly trained shihan, the seniors from our dojo, the ones that live and train with us all the time, go out to these other dojos and give the people and the students out there the kind of connection and personal teaching that they need. So many ways to be connected, and again, it all starts with a person getting a hold of this program at home, looking at it, and honestly evaluating it. Hey, does this look good? Does this look like what it was I really wanted my martial arts to be from the beginning? I know that's the way I felt when I first encountered this. At last, this is the martial art that I wanted. They'll learn the techniques. And then they'll come to our dojo, they'll come to our workshops, or they'll contact us. We can send one of the shihan out to their dojo, whatever it's going to take to allow more people to have more of the benefits of this program. So a person who wants to participate in this, they're going to get the material from us. They'll practice it with a training partner, that's what they do, and then they send us a video. We can watch their action on there. I encourage people to identify themselves on the video so that all of the people at our dojo who are doing the evaluation get to know this person by name. We associate the name with the face. That way when we get to see them at a training opportunity or we go there, we already know who they are. So they'll identify themselves by name, then they're going to do the technique. We have 3 ways. We want to see the person do it in a shadow boxing form. We want to see them demonstrate it mechanically with a training partner. And if they're ready, maybe they might have some of the armor on. They might do it a little faster with some kind of a surprise timing attack. And then the 4th thing that we would want to see would be simulating those targets with things that they can hit. So they can actually hit or knee or do that takedown. And looking at those 4 things, those 4 aspects, then we send that individual feedback. You're either right on target or we might identify some particular flaw that we want them to correct the next time around.
Hi, my name is Linda O'Brien from Kansas. I'm going to demonstrate the inside stopping action from the Mountains of Strength DVD. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stay back.
This is the Shodan course. This is the basic course. So we're not expecting a person to develop into a taijutsu master on this course. So we really want to emphasize that to everybody who's taking the course and also to the instructors that are doing the evaluation. We have courses later on there. You could get a 2nd degree, you could get a 3rd degree, you could take a course in the historical kotoryu, taijutsu, you could learn sword. There's so many other courses that people can take. This one really aims at developing an awareness of self. What are my skills? What are my capabilities? What are my inner leanings? What's my nature? So we use those elements. Some people are a little fiery than others. Some are a little cool and collected. I get to discover that in myself with some sample techniques, and it allows the person to get on board. So it's important that we remember how this fits in to the bigger picture. This is our first program. This is the basic program. This is how to get started into a lifetime of developing mastery in the Tosindo martial arts. We don't expect a person to become a master of every element. There's not enough time in this course. This course illustrates to people, they're going to learn it through their bones and muscles, the different kind of responses. So there's earth stability. They learn that. They get a feel for it. They could try it on. Maybe this is the first time in this person's life they've ever been told that, no, you could be in command of a situation. It's maybe a new trip for them. It may be the way they operate all the time. It may be so familiar that they go, what techniques? You know, hardly even a technique. This is just the way I do things. They're going to try on water in terms of responding, how to respond. And some people have never done that before. They've never had to pull off lines, so they don't understand, why would I ever back up? And so we'll have to explain to them why you need to back up. Yeah, you're a big, rough, tough guy, you're the scariest individual, but nobody's going to make you back down. But you may choose in the real world, maybe you don't have enough info yet. I need a little more data. So this guy's acting crazy or whatever, but I'm not going to hit him yet. I don't want to go to jail for hitting a person. So I need a little more time, a little more info. So maybe this is new. This could be very new to a person who's never backed up. Why would I need to? More data. I need a little more info before I go into action. And again, there are other people, this is the way they respond all the time. They're very scientific thinkers. They're always, so they're going to, again, say, what techniques? This is how I usually move. Fire, we want them to get a feeling, to try it on. What is it to be connected? To be so out of my own way that something's going to happen and I'm already there. You know, some people, that's the way they operate all the time. They're very fiery, connected, preemptive people. Other people, this is a big stretch. It's very different for them. How to just be there, just be right there in that moment. Wind, the same thing, to say, well, the opposite of earth. How could I respond in an effortless way? I just totally get out of the way and I'm going to capture that energy. Some people, that's very natural for them to accommodate and win. Other people, it's going to be very, very new, very different. So again, remember, our purpose here is that an individual is going to get an opportunity to try all these on. Mastery will come with later degrees. We want to be sure that everybody understands with these elements, an elemental approach, this is very, it starts from the inside. I have a certain perception, I have a certain feeling, I may have a certain physique and so forth, and that's why under pressure I'm going to go to fire or go to wind, whatever. Sometimes people misunderstand that. They think that because we have 4 elements that in the middle of a fight I'm going to pick one. Let's see, should I do earth or should I do water? And so we got to get that across to people. No. It will happen. If I'm not too sure what's going on, I'm going to just naturally flinch. It's natural. If I'm in a position where I think something creepy is about to happen, I'm just going to naturally move over here to where before it goes, I can already get it. It's not something people decide in the middle of a fight. It is something, though, that we separate in the training so we can make an example. Here's what it would feel like if you're coming from fire. This is what it would feel like if you're coming from earth. But we want to really emphasize that in the real self-defense, it'll happen, and later that person looks back and says, oh yeah, it was kind of a water tactical response I used there. That's how I got the guy tripped up. But they'll recognize it later, but they better not be trying to think about it in the fight, because that's not where their mind needs to be. Whoa. In the brown belt stages, we're emphasizing the 5th part of the mandala. It's the one that's drawn in the middle there, the so-called void, or the element that doesn't have a particular look or characterization to it. So in the old days, ancient days, European physics, they had earth, water, fire, wind. They had one they called the ether, and then it went out of vogue for a while. But I understand from my friends who are physicists that it's kind of coming back in. You know, there's something like that, and so that would be what we would call the void, the thing that gives a space for all the other elements to manifest. So that's the 5th one. As martial artists, we study it as understanding how to make these other elements work. So you might call it creativity or adaptability. As a personality style, it is giving space to things. I'm kind of bigger in vision. I'm bigger. I'm allowing things to to have space. I can see the big picture. That would be the void personality showing up in us. So there's a personality type that we might associate with this so-called void or empty of manifestation. This would be a person who creates or allows space for everything, so they're very open-minded. They can see the bigger picture, so that might be the character type with this so-called void element. There's also a negative version of that, because as we know, there's such a thing as being too open-minded, where I just leave too much space. So now I just don't have a stand on anything. I'm just kind of too open-minded. So that would be the negative void. I have an idea, but this would also be okay, and that would be okay, and then nothing ever gets done. When I was in university back in the 60s, we referred to people as those, we called them spacey. He was spaced out. It's kind of a spacey person. Too much spacey. So back when I was in university, there were a lot of people that were actually, kind of drugged into spaciness. And so that would be the extreme version of this negative void element. So the Tosindo physical technique is a way for us to learn about all of our potential. So the physical techniques that you get in this home study Shodan course lead to a lot of self-awareness. So we learn from these elements a whole lot about our potential. How can I be a more powerful individual? How can I be a happier individual? How can I be an individual more at peace in my world? All the things that the martial arts were originally designed to bring. I mean, these weren't games. These were things not for fun that a person became a warrior in the ancient days. It was for a very specific reason. So from the earth, we learn what it is to be confident, to be in command, to know that our life has a particular meaning and we have a value as a human being, stability, how to be in command. I learned that from our earth element. From the water element, we learn the importance and value of intelligence. There are things that are maybe more right than others in any given situation, and so we want to know what is right, what is true, what is highest truth. Who am I as a person? What is the truth about that? So introspection. I'm more scientific. I can analyze and not get all caught up in the emotion of what I might discover with that. Fire. We learn from the fire connection. I can be connected with other people, and that's an important human quality too. To have friends, to be able to receive respect and admiration and love, and then also very important that I can return that respect and admiration and love to other people. So from the fire, we understand the importance of that connection. From wind, we learn the value of being of value. It's great to be needed, to serve something that's more important than me, myself. So efficiency, action, we learn that. So we could say from earth, we all want to know that we're important. From the water, we all want to know that we're right. From the fire, we all want to know that we're respected and admired by other people. And from the wind, we all want to know that we're needed. And from the void, the one that's in the center, the fifth element, we all want to know that we are who we're supposed to be. We're accessing our potential. Our life is working the way a life should work. And so we can learn to expect that kind of personal development in our life through the physical action of our Toshindo training. One of the beauties of this Toshindo program, and remember, this is the first. This is how you get started. This is the basic mechanics, the basic philosophies, the basic techniques. This is our Shodan course. Mastery happens later. One of the things that I think is so important is that here's a martial art for real people that have real lives. Sometimes I'm so uncomfortable with what I see out in the martial art world. Programs that are offered by people that I watch the teacher for not a whole lot of time, and I realize this is not a happy, well-adjusted person who has life working for him. And now here's this very angry, insecure, violent individual teaching the same kind of painful ways of dealing with things to their students. I think sometimes there's more of that out there than I really wish there was. Anyway, that was one of the motivations for us to put together this kind of a program. A person doesn't have to live in a tiny town where I am. And I'm not always available, you know. I mean, we're in Japan sometimes, or we're in India, or we may be in Florida, or now we're up in Canada somewhere. I'm not always available. I can't physically be there. And this makes me feel so much better about what it is, this precious legacy that's been given to me. And now somebody can be miles away from me, and still they have a shot at, they have an opportunity to make a connection with something as beautiful and powerful as this, what the martial arts were supposed to be, persons of enlightenment and character and strength, sharing that with the next generation. It was very important for me to be able to put this into a form where a person doesn't have to be in the same space with me. Maybe I could help, maybe I could be a little more value to my world. That would mean a whole lot to me if I knew that I could do that.